Hello, Mauricio. Good evening. Hello, writer. Can you hear me? Can't hear you guys. Hello, hello. Good evening. Can you hear me, guys?
Good evening, teacher. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's wait one more minute and then we'll start. Okay, guys, I guess we should get going. How are you? I hope everything is going well. And we are officially halfway. And today we are going to talk about a different type of essay. And this one is a little bit different. We still keep some of the old structures we have used so far, but let's talk about these type of essay. Argumentative essay, its structure and how it compares to other essays. Okay, so let's see. So far, we talked about the four main types of essays. And here I have a nice simple table so that we can differentiate between each other. But let's read about this. I need a volunteer. Writer, can you help me read the first paragraph, please?
Okay, teacher. An essay is a focused piece of writing decided to inform or persuade. There are many different types of essay, but they are often defined in four categories: argumentative, expository, narrative, and descriptive essays.
Okay, so yes, and we discussed this at the beginning when we started talking about essays. Thank you, writer. Mauricio, can you help us with the next paragraph?
Sure. Argumentative and expository essays are focused on conveying information and making clear points, while narrative and descriptive essays are about exercising creativity and writing in an interesting way. At university level, argumentative essays are the most common type.
Yes, And why do you think argumentative essays are the most common in universities? Anybody? Why argumentative essays are most common in universities? Anybody knows? For example, I'll give you the most common example is if you're doing your master's degree and you have a thesis to defend, yes, at some point, all of your work is argumentative. So you have to defend and persuade people that whatever you are proposing is going to serve whatever its objective is, but that's mainly one of the reasons, okay? And yes, here we have the type of essay. We're talking about the persuasive or argumentative. Expository, we talk about that one. Narrative, we haven't discussed that, but we'll get there. And the very first one, descriptive or informative. Some of the skills tested. Let's see. Argumentative is forming an opinion via research. Yes, at some point, yes, we need to look for some information, building an evidence-based argument. Yes. So you have to convince your audience. Example prompt, has the rise of the internet had a positive or negative impact on education? Okay. This is just an example, and we have it in a question-based. But we are writing about an opinion, which at some point we need to decide what's going to be our argument about and what is it that we want to convey. Expository, knowledge of a topic, communicating information clearly. And the example prompt, explain how the invention of the printing press changed European society in the 15th century. Very easy. Narrative, creative language used, presenting a compelling narrative. Okay. And the example, write about an experience where you learn something about yourself. Okay. Does it have to be necessarily about yourself? Anyone? Does it have to be necessarily about yourself? Rodrigo? Mauricio? Writer? Camila? Does it have to be about yourself necessarily? Hello?
Excuse me, teacher, can you repeat the question? Because my internet is not so good, so I didn't understand all the thing.
It says here in the example, you write about an experience where you learn something about yourself. This is an example, but it can be about anyone else or just in first person.
I think that it can be in first person about everyone else. It depends of what do you want to say on your essay. You
Exactly.
can do a narrative essay talking about the experience of someone.
Yes. And the reason why I ask is not to get confused, because we are given this example that means that it has to be about ourselves. No, it could be anyone. Thank you, Camila. And informative or descriptive, we also use creative language, and we use some sensory details to describe the ambiance or the environment. As an example, we describe an object, a person, animal, whatever, that has sentimental value for you, or maybe society, or maybe a certain group of people. Again, it doesn't have necessarily to be about you. Okay. Up to here, any questions in regards to the types of essays that we have discussed so far? No questions, kids? Okay. So what's an argumentative essay? Let's get deeper into this. Camila, can you help us with the reading?
When you're writing a persuasive essay, you need more than just an opinion to make your voice heard. Even the strongest stance won't be compelling if it's not structured properly and reinforced with solid reasoning and evidence.
Reason.
Reasoning. Learn what elements every argumentative essay should include and how to structure it depending on your audience in this essay step-by-step guide.
Okay. Yes, thank you. So yes, we need to know about the structure and also what is your audience. So this one has to be very meticulous whenever we write our information or we get our ideas. This is not like the previous essays. Remember, you want to be very persuasive. If you fail to persuade your audience, then it's not even an argumentative essay. It's going to be more of a different type. So let's see, let's go to the next paragraph. Audrey, can you help us? No, Audrey is not here. Okay, so let's see. Joe, can you help us with the second paragraph?
Okay. An argumentative essay is a piece of writing that takes a stance on a issue. In a good argumentative essay, a writer attempts to persuade readers to understand and support their point of view about a topic, be standing their reasoning and providing evidence to back it up.
To back it up, okay? The reasoning and providing evidence to back it up. So what's to back it up? What does it mean to back it up? Writer? Back it up. What does it mean?
Maybe security copy, teacher.
Okay. A security copy. You're not incorrect about your statement, but we are using it in the wrong situation in this case. To back it up means that whatever your argument it is, you need to show evidence and support your argument. That's what it means to back it up. Respaldarlo. No resguardarlo. Okay? That's what it means. Remember, you're going to take a stance on an issue. Stance on an issue. An argumentative essay writing is a common assignment for high school and college students. We talk about that. Generally, argumentative essay topics are related to science, technology, politics, and healthcare. Pretty much about anything. But these are the main topics where actually we're going to find the most information, okay? Especially politics, I bet. Anyways, any questions about argumentative essays? Any questions? No? Okay, let's get into more detail. So how are we going to outline an argumentative essay? So let's do it in 4 steps. Now, Mauricio, please help me with this reading. Beginning, okay? Let's see what's going on here.
Argumentative essays should have a straightforward structure, so they are easy for readers to follow. The goal of an argumentative essay is to clearly outline a point of view, reasoning, and evidence. A good argumentative essay should follow this structure.
Okay,
Introduction.
thank you, Rodrigo.
Okay.
So the goal is to clearly outline a point of view, reasoning, and evidence. Okay, and this is the beauty about it, guys. Is giving us how to start doing an outline. That's the beauty of it. So it's actually easier to write about. Of course, it'll get easier if we talk about something that is appealing to us. If we talk about something just because we are given an assignment, then it's going to be a little bit complex because perhaps we don't have enough information to back it up. But it is something that we actually feel appealed to it. Of course, it'll be completely different. So who just entered? Let me see. Rodrigo, welcome. How are you?
Hi, teacher. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Perhaps you can help us with the first example of an outline for argumentative essays. Number 1, please.
Okay. Introductory example. Paragraph. The first paragraph of your essay you should outline the topic, provide background information necessary to understand your argument, outline the evidence you will present, and state your thesis.
Yes. So pretty much similar, but check it out. You have to outline the evidence. Not in deep detail, but just to make sure that you give enough information to get the first attention of the reader. Number 2, Joe, the thesis statement.
The thesis statements. This is part of your first paragraph. It is a concise 1-sentence summary of your main point and claim.
Yes, and I have a question to everyone. Have you had any problems writing your thesis statement? Or do you feel that you need more information in regards to your thesis statement? Give me your point of view. I wanna listen to this. I don't know, writer. Do you feel that you need more additional help or background information in regards to writing or identifying the thesis statement? Hello? Camila, perhaps? Do you have any doubts in regards to identifying or structuring a thesis statement?
No, teacher.
No? Okay. Mauricio? Rodrigo?
To be honest, teacher,
Okay.
I don't understand. For example, in the expository essay, I got a little lost writing the thesis statement.
Okay. All right. Remember that I gave you a guideline for thesis statements. If this was of little help, please get in touch with me so that we can have more additional assistance in regards to this matter. Because remember, we need to write 2 more essays and a final paper. And that means that we, by the end of this course, we should be able to be very quite knowledgeable in writing thesis statements or being able to identify them, okay? So feel free to get in touch with me, guys, if you need any additional assistance in regards to this topic or any topic in general. But please do not hesitate to give me a call or a text, okay?
Teacher, I have one question about the essays. You are going to like correct them and give us like a response, or if there is good,
Mhm.
bad, or we need to improve something?
Yes, I'll give you my
Feedback.
marks, okay? My remarks to it. But remember, there are quite a few essays, and I'm not done grading, okay? So give me time so I can give them back to you. I should be able to give you the first 2 essays by the end of this week, if not during the weekend, okay?
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Okay. All right, kids. So let's continue in this topic. So yes, let's go to the next 2 steps. Let's go to body paragraphs. So let's see, Mauricio, perhaps body paragraphs. This is the same information from the previous one, so don't worry about it. Let's go to body paragraphs.
Body paragraphs. A typical argumentative essay comprises 3 or more paragraphs that explain the reason why you support your thesis. Each body paragraph should cover a different idea or piece of evidence and contain a topic sentence that clearly and concisely explains why the reader should agree with your position.
Okay, continue, please.
Body paragraphs are where you back up your claims with examples, rich statistics, studies, and text citation. Address opposing points of view and disprove them or explain why you disagree with them. Presenting facts and considering a topic from every angle adds credibility and will help you gain a reader's trust.
Yes. Okay. So very important, guys. 3 or more paragraphs. Okay. I mean, again, if you consider that whatever your argument is, it's an argument where there is a lot of background information, there's a lot of media available, documentation. If you use 3 sources or 4 sources that will remarkably help you in having a very concise argument in each one of your paragraphs, perhaps you don't need more than 3. You should just stick to 3 paragraphs and that's it. Remember, and we talked about this yesterday from one of the exercises from the British Council. If you have too many ideas, we might just get our audience, I don't know, just tired of reading and repeating the same detailed information. Having enough and very concise information should be enough. And in this case, also, as Mauricio was explaining to us, we can use some examples, research information, statistics, studies, and citations as we have we have done in the previous essays. Okay. So let's go to number 4. John, can you help us with the conclusion?
Conclusion. One paragraph that restates your thesis and summarize all of the argument made in your body paragraph. Write that introducing new facts or more arguments. A good conclusion will appeal to a reader emotions. In some case, readers will use a personal anecdote to explain how the topic personally affects them.
Okay. Yes. So remember, and this is something very important as well. In the conclusion, you don't write about new ideas. Whatever was needed to be said, it was done in the body paragraphs. In the conclusion, you don't add additional information. You summarize and also highlight your thesis. Not literally, but just make sure you have a concise description of your thesis statement and how you backed it up in your body paragraphs. Okay. So let's see. So up to here. This is something that will help us with the next paper. 5 types of argument claims. Once you decide what you're arguing and know your thesis statement, consider how you present your argument. Yes, we know we have to persuade, but okay, we need more information than just persuade, right? That's why in this case, we have the main 5 types of arguments and claims that we can use to persuade our audience. Okay, and we have these 5. And I need someone to help me read. Writer, can you help me? Hello? Writer, are you there? No? Okay, Rodrigo, can you help me with reading the 5 argument claims?
Okay. Once you decide what you are arguing and know your thesis statement, consider how you will present your argument. There are 5 types or argument claims that can drive your essay. 1. First, fact, whether the statement is true or false. Second, definition, the dictionary definition of what you're arguing, plus your own personal interpretation of it. Third, value, the importance of what you're arguing.
Arguing.
Arguing?
Arguing. Arguing.
Arguing.
Arguing.
Or arguing.
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 Arguing. Yes. Okay. Arguing.
Okay. Arguing.
All right, it's better.
Cause and effect. What causes the problem in your essay and what effects it has? Policy. Why the reader should care and what they should do about it after reading.
Okay, So, any questions about this, clients? No? No questions? Okay, so let's see. Before we get back into the rest of the presentation, let's read some argumentative essays. Yes, there's a lot of words, teacher. Yes, this class is about reading, 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 and reading. Okay, so we have the first argumentative essay example, and we are all going to read, and we need to pay close attention, guys, because at the end, we're gonna do some exercises. It's not gonna be too complex, but it requires your full attention. And if you have any questions in regards to vocabulary or some expressions or phrases, please let me know so that we can answer them. Okay. So let's see, let's start reading. And I'll start. As online learning becomes more common and more resources are converted to digital form, some people have suggested that public libraries should be shut down, and in their place, everyone should be given an iPod with an e-reader subscription. Oh my God, no more libraries. This is a good essay. I like it. So let's see, let's go into the second paragraph. Camila?
Proponents of this idea state that it will save local cities and towns money because libraries are expensive to maintain. They also believe it will encourage more people to read because they won't have to travel to a library to get a book. They can simply click on what they want to read and read it from wherever they are. They could also access more materials because libraries won't have to buy physical copies of books. They can simply rent out as many digital copies as they need.
Okay, thank you. So what is your understanding from this paragraph, Camila?
Well, they are talking that there is like a line of people that thinks that you should have more online reading more than libraries because libraries are too expensive to maintain, and the money that is going to the libraries can go to buy iPads to everyone, and they could give to persons the possibility of learn a lot and read wherever they want, because some people think or some people don't read because of the access to these materials, because it's hard to get to the libraries, or they don't have many copies to the people, so it's harder to them to get this book or this information.
Yes, when we use digital books, and there's no limits in regards of people using that information, right? Physical books, in the other hand, yes. And also maybe the space. A library to be expensive to maintain, yes. But I think it's more related into space and having to preserve the books and the employees, right? Because in the end, digital information requires space, but in a different perspective. And it also requires money to keep a good server, right? So, okay. I like this argument, but I believe that perhaps they should have more information. Anyways, or maybe they're not using the information that needs to be here. Let's go to the next paragraph. Any volunteers? Writer? Is writer gone? Okay. Joanne, let's go to the next paragraph, please.
Okay. However, it should be a serious mistake to replace libraries with tablets. First, digital books and resources are associated with less learning and more problems that print resources. A study done on tablets versus books reading found that people read 20 and 30% slower on tablets, retain 20% less information, and understand 10% less of that they read compared to people who read the same information in print editorially. Staring too long at a screen has been shown to cause numerous health problems, including blurring vision, dizziness, dry eyes, headache, and eye strain at much higher instance that reading print does. People who use tablets and mobile devices accessibly also have a higher incidence of more serious health issues such as fibromyalgia. Okay,
Myalgia.
fibro,
Myalgia.
fibromyalgia.
Mhm.
Okay, shoulder and back pain, carpal tunnel syndrome, and muscle strain. I know that whenever I read from my reader for too long, my eyes begin to feel tired and my neck hurts. We should not add to this problem to begin people, especially young people, more reason to look at screens.
Okay, thank you, Joe. So, in summary, Joe, what are we trying to convey in this paragraph?
Mm, okay. I understand this paragraph that that people reading in and okay, reading in digital books don't understand completely uh, mm, difference that um, people reading in physical books and mm, okay,
Okay.
they understand okay, also almost everything, but this cause mm, different problems. And okay, I don't remember teacher syndromes or algo así.
Okay. Syndromes, health problems, perhaps. And well, it says here, staring too long at the screen has been shown to cause numerous health problems, blurred vision, dizziness, dry eyes, headaches, and eye strain.
Yeah.
And yes, of course, but in today's way of living, I don't know, a big percentage of jobs require looking at computers, if not more than that. So in the end, perhaps the argument should be not to be exposed to computer screens at an earlier age. Because in the end, yes, we're going towards that subject. And also, I know that there's people that work in the fields in agriculture, they have these problems times two because of all the exposure to the sun and harsh weathers. Yes. So it's like, okay, yeah, I like the argument, but perhaps we could reinforce this information in a different way. Anyone else wants to add something? There's more things like fibromyalgia, shoulder and back pain. Hey, I have these problems just because of work if I don't stretch properly, right? Not necessarily because of reading a book, because I can read a book from my hammock or at the beach. I don't know, laying down, and no problem. This is more like office pains, in my point of view, of course. Anyone else wants to give some input in regards to this paragraph? Rodrigo, Mauricio?
Teacher, I have something to add
Okay.
to the paragraph. Well, some studies shown that these percentages of how we learn and how we retain information is also related to the fact that when we have something that we can touch and we can turn the pages and everything, it help us with the retention of information. So that's why also books are more efficient with this.
Yes, that's correct. That is correct. Anyone else wants to give your input in this paragraph, or we continue? Let's continue. I bet there's more information. Okay. Let me see. Mauricio? No, Mauricio. Rodrigo?
Okay. Second, it's incredible narrow-minded to assume that the only service libraries offer is book lending. Libraries have a multitude of benefits, and many are only available if the library has a physical location. Some of these benefits include acting as a quiet study space, giving people a way to converse with their neighbors, holding classes on a variety of topics, providing jobs, answering patron questions, and keeping the community connected. One neighborhood found that after a local library institute community events such as playtimes for toddlers and parents, job fairs for the teenagers, and meeting spaces for senior citizens. Over a third of residents reported feeling more connected to their community. Similarly, a Pew survey conducted in 2015 found that nearly two-thirds of American adults feel that closing their local library will have a major impact on their community. People see libraries as a way to connect with others and get their questions answered. Benefits tables can offer nearly as well or as easily.
Yes. And actually, I can give you an anecdotes about this. When I was living in Texas, Spur Memorial Library was 4 blocks from my house, guys. It was awesome because then expanded and they had a cyber cafe. They had quiet rooms so that you can have team participation and do research paper with your friends or do some group activities. They had a section for kids where they had some French learning classes or lessons, or even they had classes for sign language. You know, people that they have problems with speech, they would teach the kids sign language. Also, they had different types of newspapers from all over the country and internationals just to do some research and all kinds of things, videos, audios, name it. And also, yes, it's a quiet place, like it mentions here. I don't know. I love those times, right? Once I started college, of course, I would go to the library from the university, which is, I would say, like 30 times bigger than that. It's a huge library. But anyways, I can pretty much uh, be be in favor of what this paragraph is conveying. All of this is completely true. Of course, again, you have to be a person that loves literature, that likes the life of reading as a hobby. If you're not the type of person, of course, you would just find it as a place to use the cyber cafe and do some homework. But other than that, I guess it's a good option. Not only for books, for book learning, like it says in the beginning. Anyone else that has a different opinion or can agree to these arguments? What do you think, Mauricio? What is your point of view?
I agree with you, teacher. This is most more than a lifestyle. If you don't like to read, you will get bored. And also in work, for example, if you want to make an investigation and you are not accurate to read so long articles, it would be boring for you.
Yes, that's correct. Okay, so let's see. Let's go into the next paragraph. Okay, and the last one is writer back. Maybe not. Camila, can you help us with the last one? Last paragraph.
While replacing libraries with tablets may seem like a simple solution, it will encourage people to spend even more time looking at digital screens, despite the myriad issues surrounding them. It will also end access to many of the benefits of libraries that people have come to rely on. In many areas, libraries are such an important part of the community network that they could never be replaced by a simple object.
Okay, so this is an example of an argumentative essay. According to what we just read, I'm going back into the presentation. What type of argument claim is this one that we just read? Fact, definition, value, cause and effect, or policy?
I think that is value
Okay,
because it's trying to show the importance of having these libraries on the neighborhoods.
okay. Anyone else has a different point of view? Anyone else? Okay. So let's go and do some analysis, guys. So the author begins by giving an overview of the counter argument. So what's the counter argument? First is telling us about one direction that e-reading perhaps is a good option. And then we go back that maybe not. Maybe let's stick to regular books and libraries. Then the thesis appears as the first sentence in the third paragraph. The essay then spends the rest of the paper dismantling the counter argument and showing why readers should believe the other side. That's what Camila is talking about. So yes, in this case, we're talking about a value argumentative essay. Good job, man. And what this essay does well, and we have 3 points. Now, pay close attention to this, guys, because this is our next assignment right now, after we finish this, okay? Let's go to the first bullet. Rodrigo, can you help me with the first bullet? Can you read it?
Okay. Although it's a bit unusual to have the thesis appear fairly far into the essay, it works because once the thesis is stated, the rest of the essay focuses on supporting it since the counter-argument has already been discussed earlier in the paper.
Discussed earlier in the paper. Okay, but before we continue, where is my thesis statement? Where is my thesis statement?
And they said that some people have suggested that public libraries should be shut down and their place everyone should be given an iPad.
Okay. Yes. And it looks like our thesis statement is giving us that insight that perhaps we should lean more into the digital stage. That's what the analysis is telling us. And as we go deeper into the essay, we do a counter objective and say, okay, this is what the public says, but I'm gonna give you the reasons why I disagree. And I'll give you evidence. Now, when it comes to evidence, in this case, when we give statistics, information, don't forget to have your citations, okay? So that in case that we are curious, we can go back and check where you got your info. Let's go to the second bullet. Joanne, can you help me with the second bullet?
These essays include numerous facts in cities studies to support its case by having a specific date too early on. The author's argument is stronger and readers will be more inclined to agree with it.
Yes, that's what I was mentioning just a few minutes ago. We have actual information. This is a good thing. And the last bullet, Camila.
For every argument the other side makes, the author makes sure to refute it and follow up with why her opinion is the stronger one. In order to make a strong argument, it's important to dismantle the other side, which this essay does this by making the author's view appear stronger.
Exactly. Okay, so yes. Okay, so this is what public opinion says, but my argument is the contrary, and this is why. And we give all the reasons so that we can prove and persuade that whatever the public says is incorrect. And I'll give you evidence. Okay, good. Now, we're gonna stop here. We're gonna read about a second example in just a minute. Let's continue into our presentation. Okay. So, okay, three main types of arguments and how to use them. There are three main ways to structure an argumentative essay. Choose one of the following and combine them to write your paper. Or combine them. You don't have to, but you can use it. And we have three types, okay? Besides having to choose what's the claim, what is the format that we're going to follow. And the first one, classical. Rodrigo, can you help us read?
Present the main argument, state your opinion, and do your best to convince the reader why your stance is the right one. Also called Aristotelian, this is the most popular strategy for making an argument because it's the simplest line of thinking to follow. It's effective when your audience doesn't have a lot of information or a strong opinion about your topic, as it outlines the facts clearly and conscientiously.
Concisely. Okay, so yes, this is the classical type. You want to convince the reader, and what is your stance? Where are you standing? Okay. And then we have the next one, the Rogerian. How do you say?
Rogerian, present the problem, acknowledge the opposing side of the argument, state your point of view, and explain why yours is the most beneficial to the reader. This type, beneficial to the reader. This type of argument is effective for polarizing topics as it acknowledges both sides and presents the middle ground.
Okay, awesome. And let's go to the last one, the Tolman. Any volunteers? I don't know if Ryder is back. Oh, Audrey, welcome.
Hi, teacher.
Hey, you were awfully quiet. Hey, can you help us with the last example?
Yes, teacher.
Thank you.
Tolman, present your claim, present grounds to back up that claim, and then justify that the grounds are linked to the claim. This type of argument is also effective for polarizing topics, but rather than present both sides, it's present one, high particularly on facts presented in a way that makes the claim difficult to argue with.
Okay, hinging particularly.
Hinging.
Yes.
Hinging.
Okay, guys. Yes, I know these explanations are not the most easy ones to follow, but just by looking at this, our essay that we just read, which type of argument are we following here? Anybody knows? What type of argument? Just really fast. What do you think? Classical, Rogerian, or Tolman? It's okay, guys. No problem if we don't guess correctly, but give me your point of view. Give me your answer. Which one do you think is the one that we talked about? Anyone? Really? Come on, guys. Ryder, are you back?
Teacher classical.
Classical, okay. We present the main argument, we state our opinion, and we try to convince the reader. Okay. But it's just a claim that we're doing, an argument, because we seem to be contradicting things. Anybody else?
I think that it can be classical or the last one, Tolmin, because it only shows like one part of the argument and tries to convince them with that.
Okay. And what about Rogerian? This type of argument is effective for polarizing topics, as it acknowledges both sides and presents the middle ground. Did we have any middle ground?
No, in this case,
No,
no.
right? No. So that's important. Yes, good job. So in this case, I would say that this essay is Tolman. A little bit of classical, but in this case, we are using the most common one, which is Tolman. Okay, good. Now, let's continue on the presentation. In conclusion, so whether you're writing an essay as an artistic exercise or trying to get the attention of a top publication, knowing how to correctly structure your point of view is the key to good argumentative essay. And not only for an activity from school, guys. Also, if you want to state an argument in other situations. I don't know if anyone in this class is an attorney or a lawyer, but if you're an attorney or a lawyer, or you work in public relations or human resources, oh yes, you need to have a lot of knowledge when it comes to argumentative topics and information, so you can have background info whenever it is needed. So this was short, but remember that we are mainly focused in reading the essays. Okay, let's go into the second part of the exercises. So the argumentative essay example number 2. In this case, I'm going to give you the information pretty fast. I'm going to give it to you in WhatsApp. Give me just a second. And I'll show you. Okay, kids, give me just a sec. Kudos. The information is already in the group. I hope. Yes. And what's going to happen is you're going to read the essay. It's a little bit long, but not that long, okay? And what's going to follow is we are going to do the same exercise that we did. We're going to do an analysis, and we are going to state why this essay is well structured. In few words, why do you think, or what are the good points of views in this essay? But in this other case, you're also going to write about what should be improved in your opinion, okay? You don't have to write really long structured statements. You can just get right to the point as long as you give me your input, okay? The first activity, read the essay. Second activity, do an analysis. Third activity, write about why this essay, what does this essay do well? Okay, and the last part, the fourth one, is what opportunities does the essay have? What could be improved? Any questions, guys? Any questions in regards to this exercise?
Teacher, I have a question.
Yes.
We need to write this and send it to you, or
No, we're going to
we're
review.
going to share it.
No, we're going to review.
Okay.
Yes, we still got time. And the reason why I want to take this time to do it in class, because whenever we take a test, they only give us like 5 minutes, guys, for each essay. So we have plenty of time, but we need to get used to reading fast and answering questions also in a good educated manner and also timely. Okay, so argumentative essay number 2, read about it, and don't forget your analysis and what this essay does well and how this essay could be improved. Let me write it here. Well, it's not giving me a chance, but I guess I'll close it and open it again, and I'll put it here. Okay? But yes, you can start now. Look at the WhatsApp group and start reading. Okay, guys? You have any questions? Let me know. For this exercise, I'm gonna give you 15 minutes. 15 minutes, okay? Okay, so everyone has the essay? Okay, I'm going to assume everybody has the essay. So I'll let you work. Okay, kids, how are you doing? Any more time? Hello, guys. How are you doing so far?
I finished, teacher.
Okay, good. What about the rest?
Teacher, I need more time.
Okay, we still got time, okay? We still got, well, not that much time. We got 2 minutes. We can review the information. Okay, guys. So let's take it from here. Before we get deeper into this analysis, where is my main idea in this second lesson? Where is it? Anybody can tell me? Where is my thesis statement? Audrey, perhaps? Oh, so sorry. Audrey?
Teacher, sigo haciendo.
Okay. Camila, where is my thesis statement?
The last sentence of the first paragraph.
And that would be here?
Yeah. Well, there have been many programs designed to improve access to malaria treatment. The best way to reduce the impact of malaria in sub-Saharan Africa is to focus on reducing the number of people who contracted the disease. Yeah.
Okay, in the first place, right? Rather than waiting to treat the disease up to the person is already infected. Okay. And right out of the bat, we have an argument. Good. Now, oops, it was back. So what is a good analysis about this essay? Let me see. Mauricio, do you have an analysis about this essay?
First, they are informing what is malaria, and then they introduce the case of sub-Saharan Africa. They introduce the situation. Then they give to us some little of story of history. Sorry. The programs that fail in the malaria eradication, and they give to us some little ways to reduce the malaria, and they talk about some plants, and they plants, and
Okay.
also some programs, some options to. I think there was a personal net or something like this, and then they give a suggestion for the readers.
Okay. Good. And what is your perspective about the writing, the essay in general? What does this essay do well? Okay.
I think that they inform about the situation too well, because the essay has a lot of facts, a lot of information, a lot of numbers, a lot of I don't know, percentage that this is they are trying to say this is happening, and these are the proofs. I think this is the most important thing that they do well.
Okay. And how can it be improved?
Maybe for me, I didn't understand so clear the part that they talk about some plants that could be used, but then in the next paragraph they don't talk about too much about these plants. They just talk about
Like superficial?
Yes, they talk about superficial, and I think that it could be deeper in the case that they want to show that plants are so good.
Okay. Yes, I agree with you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay. Anyone else? Camila, give us your point of view. What is your analysis?
Well, I think that it's a classic essay because, well, it shows both parts of the story. It's very well written because they show, written. They show the history of malaria, what was going on, the things that they do how didn't work or the reasons because the plans didn't work, and also they show a practical solution to that is cheaper and everything. So it's very interesting because it shows something that we didn't we normally didn't see.
Yes, we're not familiar with it, right?
Yeah.
Because we do not live in a place where malaria is a problem, it's a concern, and we're not aware of this. Okay. And what do you think is done well in this essay?
I think that they show the facts in a very easy way, in a chronological way, so you can learn about it. It's not only an opinion, it's also an essay that teach you something. It shows you also the two parts of the history, the good one and the bad one, the things that they do, the things that it didn't work. So I think that it's very interesting and complete.
Okay. And how can it be improved?
I think that if it is an argumentative essay, the positions need to be more strong because it's like very it not has like a real opinion. It's like it's only presenting the facts. It's not taking a position. So I don't know. It's the better type of essay if we know named it as argumentative.
Okay.
So I think that yes, they need to make their positions more strong, the good ones and the bad ones.
Exactly. That's a very, very important argument that you're saying at this point, Camila, because they're not taking a posture. They're not taking a side. They're only saying, "Oh, this is bad because of this and this," but in they're not telling you, "Okay, this is this is my side of the argument." It's just like a combination of a classical and informative, right? Argumentative and informative essay. So we need to be careful if we're going to do an argumentative. Yes, we have to inform, but at the same time, we want to persuade someone because we have a side of the story. We have taken a posture in this case. Good, good observation. Anyone else, Rodrigo? Perhaps. Thank you, Camille.
I think that the essay is very interesting because yes, it's a mix of the opinion of the author and facts of the situation of the country and the people that it suffer this issues. So it's very interesting now the how the author writes and describe these facts, and mm, it's good. I
Okay.
don't know.
And how can it be improved?
In my opinion, I think that the essay needs a conclusion. It's more an opinion of the author, and but here there is not the final the final arguments to close essay is more in facts and opinions, but there is not a conclusion.
Okay, good. Anyone else? Audrey, thank you, Rodrigo.
Yes, teacher. I think that is an easy classical show how the malaria affects an Africa sub-Saharan. But like to Rodrigo, I think that the easy need a conclusion. The information is um is like the malaria affects Africa and possible solutions, but I need a conclusion that show that
Okay,
that that show us um, the end of the problems, maybe.
all right. Anything else? That's it?
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. And Joe, can you tell us your analysis?
Okay. Okay. The author focus in a topic informative, very important, that include all of South Africa about malaria. The essay okay, classical because focus in show the different ways they okay, try to eradicate malaria, but in fall, fall, fall wait, okay, wait. Mm, the essay include events that happen in a order or control malaria, but I am this okay. I'm disagree in conclusion, but I think the author not say exactly your opinion, but he used uh, mm, a topic important. Okay, that that learn. Oh, okay. Uh, okay. Okay. No olvide.
Yes, I am understanding. It's like Camila mentioned. There's no stance in this essay. We notice that the author is not taking a posture in this essay, and it's very important to have it. It's basically one of the must do for this type of essays, and it's not done. It's not well structured. We're not seeing it clearly. Okay. All right, kids. So tomorrow we're going to practice a little bit more in regards to argumentative essays. And well, for today, that's all that I have. So before we go, please complete the survey, the daily survey, because I need to post another one after you finish, okay? I need to post, everybody finished? Everybody completed the survey so that I can show you the other one?
Yes,
Okay.
teacher.
Okay, so now let me send you the other one. Give me just a second. There. Please help me complete the second survey. Please complete the second survey, guys. Tomorrow we're going to practice a lot, so please be prepared. We need a lot of energy for tomorrow, okay? We're going to read. Okay, guys, so that's all for my behalf, and have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much.
See you, teacher. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you, teacher.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, teacher. See you.
See you.